Hello, it's Liz from West Star Tarot. Welcome. I'm here today to do a VR to Mascha. This is Top Tarot Trump number 5, the Hierophant. And like the Emperor, this isn't always my favorite card, although I have I have pulled several iterations of it that I actually really do love quite a bit. But when I first saw the Rider-Waite-Smith iteration of this card, this one, it didn't make me too happy to have that come up in a reading, because I felt like it was about dogma, control, trying to push patriarchal religious beliefs onto me. And I did realize when I read about this card that it was also about wisdom and teaching and tradition and so forth and so on. But for me, some traditions aren't traditions that I really am interested in keeping around. And this is one of them. But I did, manage to try to get past this imagery. But I really never liked this card, or I guess I should say I didn't like when I saw it come up in a reading for myself. The Hierophant is associated with Taurus, and Taurus is fixed earth, so that's kind of like, whoa, fixed earth. What could be more fixed than fixed earth? And as I said, I saw it as tradition, dogma, power over, but it's also wisdom, the keeper of knowledge, ritual. And as I said, I have pulled out different iterations to, that have sort of softened that card for me. So I'm going to pull out, I have a pile of cards and guidebooks here in a very small space, so that probably wasn't the smartest thing, but anyway. One of the first versions of the Hierophant that kind of made me open my eyes to see a different side to this card was from The Gaian Tarot by Joanna Powell Colbert. And she calls this card the Teacher. And here is the Teacher. And I sort of like this because I can remember when I first saw this card, I thought, oh, that's a really androgynous being. So I like that as well, that, it's not saying that, like this one is saying you have to be male to be the powerful Hierophant. This one, I feel like it's not saying. And I really, really love this. I love this card so much that when I was at a tarot conference a number of years ago, Joanna was there. She had a vendor table and was, selling her decks and so forth. And I bought this print from her. So this is hanging up in this room. And that's how much I loved it, that I wanted to buy a print of it. So I kind of went from ew to yay. So I love looking at this card as the Teacher. So we see the being here, the spiritual being, sitting on the ground in nature in front of this beautiful red cedar with water in the background. And we see different animal spirits gracing this card with their presence. And then we have plant spirits. So we have dandelion. I'm sorry, I gotta look at this. Dandelion, comfrey, nettle, yarrow, and I think this is wild garlic. And then we have, you know, the teacher. But one of the things that I think about in this card is, who's the teacher? Is this the teacher? Is this the teacher? Is this the teacher? Is nature herself the teacher? So that's what I really like about this card is you kind of look at it and it's not rigid and it's not dogmatic and it's not confined to something like this. It's really open-ended and we can decide for ourselves who's the teacher here. And really, I guess my answer to that question is they all are, and that we all learn from each other. This being who is a wise one is sitting out in nature and learning from nature, and then they might come forward and teach us about these, the plant spirits and animal spirits and the wisdom that we can learn from nature. So I love that. That's one of my favorite Hierophant cards. And again, Joanna calls it the teacher. And then this deck came into my collection soon. I don't know, maybe within a year after I had gotten the Gaian one. And I was, what I do when I get a new deck is, which I'm sure we all do, is I go through the cards one at a time. I put them in an order. I like to have the majors, then swords, then wands, then cups, then pence, because that's just how I order things. And so I was going through the cards one by one, and I came to the Hierophant. This is, Tarot de Saint Croix by Lisa de Saint Croix. And that just brought a smile to my face. And I guess I just see, this is me in my balancing act here. I just see such a difference between this spiritual leader and this one. And, you know, maybe I'm kidding myself, but I just see the Dalai Lama as softer, gentler version of the Pope. So here's what Lisa says about the meaning of the card. In our search to understand the meaning of life, we look for a teacher. So there's that word again, teacher. A Hierophant who will channel divine wisdom. So that is, I like that idea about the Hierophant. And then, so that was a card that put a smile on my face. And then this is another iteration of the Hierophant that I absolutely love. And it just makes me smile. And I'm not sure if the creator of this deck intended it to make people smile or what, but here it is. I love this. It just, look at that cardinal. Oh. And let me see if I can compare. Oh, another shiny card, huh? I mean, isn't that great? It's so great. So this cardinal is from the Nature Spirit Tarot by Jean Marie Herzl. This is the independent version. It has been re-released recently, and you can see how huge it is. It's now, I think, regular tarot size. But I love that. And I just wanted to read a little bit. So what Jean Marie says is, the Hierophant is the great teacher, the authority who teaches the knowledge, traditions, ceremonies, and rituals. As the inner teacher, the Hierophant offers us access to ancient wisdom teachings. As we enter our own inner sanctuaries, the Hierophant is there to guide us in the exploration of our soul. So I thought that was an interesting idea or definition behind that card. This is from Wee Moon, and it's called Sacred Paths. And this one is Sacred Teaching, Spiritual Authority. How do you know what is true? And then at the end it says, what wisdom do you carry in the stories your life tells? Ultimately, we are our own spiritual authority. Art, nature, images, this image, this moment, what does it mean to you? And I really like that idea of we are our own spiritual authority. It isn't that guy in Rome or wherever. It's us. We decide for ourselves what our spiritual beliefs are and our spiritual practices are. And I really like that idea a lot. This is another sort of, this is sort of to counterbalance that patriarchal male imagery. This is from the Ancestral Path Tarot by Julie Kachia Watt. And this is the Oracle of Delphi. And so this is a more feminine, female version of the Hierophant card. And let's see here. So this one just, I just pulled this one out because I wanted to counterbalance that strongly male imagery from the Rider-Waite-Smith with a sort of softer, more feminine, more mystical, spiritual iteration of that card. And then, so we've gone from that Rider-Waite-Smith kind of patriarchal image through some sort of softer, gentler images to a couple of more divine feminine, sacred feminine images. And then I think really this is my all-time favorite Hierophant. It's from Delta Enduring. And this, when I think of not the more feminine, the natural, the nature, the teacher, not those, but this, can you, I don't know, I hope you can see this. So here we are preaching to a congregation, and they're sort of enraptured by this Hierophant, this teacher. But look what's important to him. Not them. Well, them in terms of, because they give that. But he's really saying that, or this card is really saying, oh, look, he's two-faced. So let me just read a couple of sentences from Delta Enduring. Let's see. So a crowd listens with bated breath to the words of the Hierophant at the pulpit. His clever words give the people a sense of community, tradition, and moral direction, though only if they conform to the life the Hierophant demands. To the people he is resolute, enlightened, empowered by his conviction. But the Hierophant, like the people, is still human, and as his second face suggests, equally privy to human faults. So that is from the Delta Enduring. So those are my favorite Hierophants. What are some of yours? And do you like any of the ones that I've brought forward here? Are any of these your favorite images? Tell me a little bit about your thoughts about the Hierophant. So again, as always, I'm going to end my video by saying thank you to Mascha for creating this tag. As I've said each time, not only does it make me think about my favorite iterations of the particular measure that we're thinking of, but it gets me to think about, how do I see that card? What does it mean to me? And how has my ideas about that card changed from when I first encountered tarot decades ago to how I feel about the imagery and what this card means now? So I guess I'm going to end as I always do. Peace and love.